Hi! Can you hear the monkeys in the background? They are serenading us. This is a short video on just another commentary on the 3 levels of effortless EIFS that occur concurrently as we play, as we heal, as we get to know and become more intimate with self. So the idea is that there are 3 levels happening concurrently. And it's almost like you're playing a game where there are like 3 different things happening. And it's like, whoa, this isn't just checkers anymore. There's this or that. And so here are the 3 levels, and we know them all, and we keep playing with them. And there's the first level, which I call the playing field, right? And this is just the way self meets parts in our system, or the way the relationship between the sky and the weather. And in that one we have the 6 effortless EIFS views, right? And it's just, how are you being with? How are you making sense of what's the relation with what arises in you, with the thoughts, feelings, and sensations? What's the relation with them? Okay, but it's interesting. We call this the playing field, and this is where the healing happens. This is just life. It's the relation. Sometimes we're blended with the parts. Other times we're riding the bicycle of self and the bike of being, and we're just resting here. Other times there's a sense of, wow, there's a sense of beingness as the space, and the parts are just soaking in beingness. Can you hear the monkeys? And there's some birds. And so there's that. There's this, just the fullness of life, the fullness of the parts, right? And then, and there's even the adoration of the parts, which is the first view. It's just the recognizing them and adoring them. And then it goes on to simultaneous awareness, a sense of they're co-arising with the background that they are. They're inseparable, the inseparable pair. So all of that is our first view, is our first layer. And then it goes to our second, I'm really messing this up, I'm so sorry. The second level, not layer, the second level, which is just, which are the tipping points, right? And this is what in EIFS we call it the updating. This is just the learning that happens. And it's like, what was your favorite sport when you were a kid? What was your favorite sport? And if it wasn't a sport, was it theater? Was it acting? Was it riding your bike? Was it being on the call? Was it making, I wasn't making posts when I was a kid, but some of you are younger, where Facebook was around and other things like that. But what was it? Where was the flow, the creativity, the learning? Was it games? Was it art? And remember what that was like? Where, for me, I loved sports. I wasn't very good at them, but I loved them, and I played absolutely everything. And then I did get good at tennis, but it's like, how did this happen? Where, I could be at the back of the court, and I could pretty consistently put the ball within a foot of where I wanted it to go at the other side of the court. Like, how is that? Or playing golf and putting the ball someplace, basketball. It's like, whoa, free throws, choo, 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 swish, swish, swish. How does that happen? Or I'm like sitting on the bench most of the time, so it didn't happen. But something learned, right? And for me, it was just, remember how the learning happened? It was just kind of fun. It's what you did suddenly, like, whoa, how am I doing that? I'm like hitting this little baseball, and I'm not scared it's gonna hit me anymore. Or soccer, you're like hitting it with your head. Like, it learned, something learned. And that's what we're doing here. We're in the playing field. We're playing the game. We're just being in life, and the system is learning and updating, like learning to ride a bike. And that's the idea with the tipping points. And we have 10 primary tipping points, and then just a whole lot more just for playfulness, but the 10 top ones. So the idea is that we're learning as something is learning in the background. There's a sense of this second level where as we're playing, it's like you're going to practice a sport, right? You're going out to the soccer field to practice. It's not about like making the goal. It's about something is learning. Oh, I'm getting better at, I can kick the ball right into the top corner of the net. It's like something, and that's the updating that happens, right? Updating, recognizing, wow, the parts, there's really an underlying longing. And wow, that longing, what it's longing for, it doesn't have to be found necessarily from experience. Wow, the longing can be filled here from our own being. I mean, that's one of the really big ones. Or just, what are my default qualities of self? That's the second level, right? Recognizing these tipping points as they're updated. And then the third level, and this, it all happens concurrently. And this is what is crucial, and it's really the heart of EIFS. And that is kind of like none of this is necessary. That it's the perfection that's already here, the beauty, the innocence, the perfection of you just the way you are. That your nature is this, you are this. And like, how do we work concurrently with that? It's like, oh, you have parts that want to make progress. Hey, I want to be more loving, more peaceful, more flow, more connected. Great. But at the same time, we've got the third level where, wow, this is life. This is it. There's nothing that needs to be done. There's no need to come to any of these workshops or do any of this because you already are. You know, it's like being in nature. Do we go in nature and do we say, oh, that tree should be this and this, or we should, or the flowers should be different, right? We can see, we can play with all of that. We can create beautiful gardens, but at the same time, why do we love nature? Because we touch this flow, we touch the beauty of what is. And so that is the heart of effortless IFS, which is, and that's why, yeah, it's like all three, and all three are we're opening to simultaneously, all three of these, as we play, as it updates, and as we recognize more and more that we already are what we long for. We already are the beauty of what we are. So I hope that's helpful. It's just a little short one, and it's not so, what do I say? It's not very so clear because I'm in Costa Rica, and so there's flow. And then lastly, I put these on YouTube, but like, it often feels like putting it out into the void. It's like, hey, is this helpful? Because it's nice to know if it's helpful or what's helpful, because as you can tell, I enjoy talking about all this and exploring this, and I so enjoy getting to be with you all when you come to the groups, or I talk, we meet or interact. And so if you're so inspired, I'd love comments on YouTube are really fun, or anytime writing me a note. I'd love to hear if any of this is helpful. And or also what I love best is like, pretend that you are my spiritual teacher and you're like, okay, so that was right, that was really good, but this isn't so good. You're a little off there, a little confused. I love feedback. Thanks, see you later, bye.